Chapter 30, Air Brake Foundation Systems and Air Brake Circuits. Day 1, Video 11, Gauges and Warning Devices. So the last part of the charging system is some of the warning devices or the indicators that we need to get to the driver so he knows what system pressure is at. So located somewhere on the dash, we will usually have a couple of different gauges here. So this one here, monitoring our primary circuit, our secondary circuit here, so that we know what the air pressure is in each of those reservoirs. We could have one gauge with two needles. It's not uncommon, a red needle and a green needle for secondary and primary. And then maybe we'll have another pressure gauge like this that is the application pressure. So instead of having a 1 or a 2 or a P or an S, it would be an A for application pressure. So we have to have a visual means of letting the driver know what system pressure is. So we've got a sensor down on each of the primary and secondary reservoirs. Also located on there is the pressure sensor, so that when we are below 60 psi in either of these circuits, you can see the red mark here, so that when we're below 60 psi, we will have an audible noise or warning also. So that buzzer, when we first get into the truck, turn the key on, and that buzzer's going off, and it takes a couple minutes for it to go off. What it's telling us is our system pressure is below 60 psi, which is the minimum pressure that we need to move the truck. Once we've got at least 60 psi, we can release the park brakes. It takes a minimum 60 psi to compress that spring brake so that we can release the brakes and move the truck. So likewise, when we're driving down the road, if we have a failure in the system and the driver does not see it, once that needle gets down to the 60 psi, again, we're going to have a buzzer coming on to alert the driver. We've got a visual here with the gauge, and then a lot of times they will have a warning light that will pop up on the gauge cluster, also letting us know of low system pressure.